The Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience. Farmers, insurance, open, picks, preview, bets, one and dones. Joining me in studio, as he always does, Geoff Fienberg, coming off a week where you had second place and second place. Or second place and third place. I don't know how Scheffler ended up.
He was one back. He did make the eagle, but he, 24-23. Got caught by the Landry eclipse. Is what it is. Guy played great. That shot on 17. I still didn't think he was going to hit the putt because he didn't hit anything from 6 feet in like 90 minutes. And a lot of them had a pressure feeling, or at least a couple of them in a row. But that shot on 16 nails and, followed it up. Got that great, 18, but it was DOA by then, make or miss.
If people out there want to get into a draw for $20 DK dollars, here's what you do. You smash the like button for the episode, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. With football coming to its close at the Super Bowl, let me know. I have a free day per week now. So let me know what you would like, what sort of content you would like me to fill that with. So if you're an audio listener to this show, I mean, this is not the draw for the audio. This is the draw for the video. But you can hit me up either in the comment section on Twitter or at thepatmayoexperience@gmail.com and find out, maybe, Geoff, it'll be something like me, you, and Cuss just talking about whatever.
Sure.
That could be a show. Maybe I'll bring back the live golf chats. I don't know. And if people out there want to get into a draw for $100 DK dollars, this is for the audio listeners, mind you. That if you subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience, rate it 5 stars, DraftKings handle, and something you like about the show in that review, you're in a draw for $100 DK bucks. The winner of $100 DK bucks from last week, P. Murph 405. The winners of the 20 DK bucks, MT Arthur 1983, Polar Hail 17, Cleveland Stever Forte 9R, TD Lynx 1, Horden Jodges, and J. Blake Dyer. All the winners of 20 DraftKings dollars. You know who won a bet this weekend?
Lots of people.
Cust. We mocked his strategy about taking he was going to take the 36. It's funny because we talked to him both. We gave him good advice. He was talking about picking the 36-hole leader and then dumping all the money on them to win the tournament. But then we had to explain to him that this tournament, the cut actually happens after 3 rounds. So if he had done his strategy, he would have bet Ricky Fowler at like minus 110. Instead, he bet Andrew Landry at plus 110, parlayed it with the Chiefs money line and won.
I still blame the curse.
You should. Well, you had the guys in second and third, and Cuss probably won like $8 and cost you a lot of money.
And there were a lot of people. Like the Scheffler answer, like either having one or both, wasn't an uncommon lean throughout the week. They're both incredibly popular, both in the one and done and other aspects of golf, DraftKings, or betting.
I have a question. Why was Scheffler so popular, like 28-1?
I pulled the 33 on the U.S. Canada split site. I guess I don't know how else to declare what site that was.
I know what site you're talking about.
I don't know. Just seeing the guy, everything he talked about Sung Jae. Scheffler was like a poorer man in that sense. All those Corn Ferry guys, they crush like resort courses. It's like their repertoire. I don't know.
I just
Answer felt good. Although, the president, even someone joked us, said, how did Answer go so late in like the draft we did? It was before the President's Cup, people. It wasn't like this love affair. Like people liked him, but it wasn't this like love affair that's like blossoming since. Right?
Yeah, he did everything well on Sunday. Like, where was this the rest of the days?
Oh, I know.
It was like my guy TPJ. He took a triple bogey on 18 to close the third round. And like, if he hadn't done that, I'm not going to say that he would have finished in like the top 5 or anything, but he would have been so close. And I think everything is just different at that point because I think he was even in the final round.
But a lot of people caught 75 place the big each ways on SEP.
I ended up playing the SEP live. That was like the only money I made this week.
I didn't have a piece of anything, even though I had a place and show.
How was that DraftKings lineup you sent me? That must have won cash.
Yeah. Daddy Warbucks, one lineup. It's pretty good.
Yeah, they were just looking at it. I was like, this is doing way better than any lineup I built.
Yeah, if that thing if Answer or Scheffler won, it would have been a big swing. Swing. You know who else I think putted horribly and I thought played great was your call on Knox.
He couldn't putt. I think he hit every green in regulation.
Saw it. Even the 6 foot, nothing was going. Even when he was in tight, they weren't dropping for him. But I don't know. We that place is so beholden to a super number, and people caught 200, 250. Pick him, as our friend Tim. Such a savvy bettor, that guy.
Well, the funny thing was because he said
such a savvy guy who's gonna gloat. He's gonna gloat my year off too. It would have been so much better if it all crumbled.
Wait, he as soon as he put it out into the ether that this tournament was over, he bogeyed 3 consecutive holes to fall into a tie for the lead. But he kind of went against his own rule here because he waited. He didn't wait until all 3 rounds had concluded before betting on Landry. He just bet Landry because he was currently leading. But then Scheffler tied him. So if he had waited till the end, I'm curious to see if he would have bet on Answer or Scheffler. But then I think he gave it all back by betting on Packers money line 3 minutes later. So he's 1 for 2 with his new strategy. So we'll see how that ends up going. Here's some real winners, though.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
He's 1 for 2, but in the golf ether, you shouldn't be getting pick'em returns. So he's actually made 10 cents.
No, because it was a parlay. So it was just below 2 to 1. Because the Chiefs' money line was
Landry was plus 110. Okay, I thought. Okay.
So we'll give him 2 to 1 for that one.
Fine, he's up a unit.
Hey, that is substantially
more than I was up, and I called the horse race.
It's more than us, and it's more than he's ever been up in his entire life. So let's give him this.
He can have it. I'm not angry about it, but
it sounds like you're kind of angry on it. But I think
just the Landry eclipse, man. It's getting hit by a Streelman. Oh my God.
Well, Answer was the Streelman in this situation.
Yes. Fine. You're right. Different logic. But I mean, the win. And we're going to get this. Landry just seems like a guy. Was it on last week's show or 2 weeks ago where you're like, do I have to talk about Landry?
That was on. I bet him and played him in my DraftKings lineup last week at the Sony Open. He was plus fucking 17 in 2
you know
rounds.
what I found out on the radio broadcast, which is so much more optimal than anything else?
What?
I was shoveling, listening to radio. I got I enjoyed it.
Got a good workout going.
Enjoyed
to golf.
Enjoyed it.
Minus 20-degree weather, shoveling some snow.
That the whole family had the kids in Hawaii. Everyone got sick.
Oh,
you know how that works. Baby sick, mommy sick, daddy then gets sick. Still, the guy made a cut in eons, but whatever. This is where we are.
The note that I have from this tournament moving forward is just don't bet anyone who's not 150 to 1 or less before the tournament starts, and just look at it after. Just look at the course rotation, see how they did at the stadium course where you have the stats, and move on. I think it was Steve the punter pointed out about Landry at the midway points, his stats are off the chart here, and he's already played the tough course.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who got in on that Friday. Made sense. He was still on the other. He still had, I think, La Quinta or Nicholas to play. So yeah.
It's not like the stadium course played super duper tough. That's the one thing, the one trap that people fall into. It's they're playing the hard course. They're playing the more difficult of the 3 courses. It is not a hard course.
And it's also, listen, I get every inch, every point of a point matters on a percentage to a math guy, but it's also like a stroke. Right?
Yeah, I think it ended up being a stroke and a half between the two. But the big thing is at the stadium course, there's water and giant hazard. So when you're Finau and you go water. You know what they call that hole? Full Finau?
No. I learned it on the radio broadcast. Double trouble.
Well, it was for old Tony.
Yeah, found it. Well,
top 5 Tony. Couldn't even get a top 5 out of him here.
Could be here for him this week.
Yeah, well, I know someone else who is as well. But
help us all.
I think that's the difference between that course and the other two. It's just as scoreable, but there's huge numbers to be had, and that just swings the scoring.
Great point.
So the winners from last week, just viewers of the show, members of FantasyNational.com who did really well. Ryan Hayes put in 145, out for 774. Invincible won the Minimax, the 50-cent Minimax. So I don't know how much that is. It's quite a bit, though. Congratulations on that. Charles LaRocco, second straight week in the notes. This week, only in for 600, out for 900 and 989 or 989. Won a whole bunch last week, so he's upping how much he's playing every single week, building on last week. Jesse Williams in for $1.18, out for $907, and Jeffrey, Scott Stewart.
There it is, baby. Woo, Scotty.
Scotty in for $94, out for $2K.
Everyone's biggest fan.
That is amazing. Shout out Scotty.
He's not on the Fantasy National payroll.
He
does have a lifetime membership.
We gave him a lifetime membership, so hey.
No, he won it, right? You didn't give it to him.
No, we gave him the lifetime. He won a draw. Then we were just like, you got it for life.
Oh, way to go, Scotty, man.
He's putting it to good use.
Crushing it.
Some outright winners here. Josh picked up Landry at 45-1 and Sepp at 16-1. His top continental Euro hit both. John Berg hit Sepp top 10 and top 20 for 31 and 9-1. Mike Cav had $10 on Landry, 200-1. And Birdman put $2.50 on Andrew Landry, won himself $500. Not a bad, like, if you don't have any sort of interest in like losing money betting on golf or just betting on sports in general, but you would like to do it, golf is the perfect sport for you, I think. Because you can put $2.50 on someone and win a bunch of money.
It's not like he's brought home really big events, but Landry could be someone else's like Siwoo.
Well, both of his wins now have come at
150. I got that 150 at Valero. So I can't hate there's no hate here. And I remember he was there at Oakmont as it was Dustin's glory. Like he just hung around on that leaderboard for like 2 or 3 days.
He was the leader after 3 rounds, and everyone was just like, this is not going to happen for poor Andrew Landry. Like he's going to melt in round 4. And I think he did okay. Didn't win.
Yeah, then he went out with Lowry, I think, in the final.
Oh yeah, because Lowry had taken it over. That's right. Remember Dustin had that weird stroke penalty thing, and we didn't know what was going on?
What a horrible sequence of like, should I freak out? Should I not freak out? Sharing that on the internet.
It was strange.
Fox.
Was that the first Fox year?
No, Chambers was.
I wish they'd go back to Chambers. I enjoy just how triggered everyone got by Chambers Bay. And look, that produced a good tournament.
It's an amazing tournament.
For as much as like everyone seemed to hate it. Like it was fantastic to watch.
I only hated the last 30 seconds.
You got your boy Spieth playing this week.
Yeah.
Your guy
and then Dustin didn't even stay for the second. He just just didn't even stay for the ceremony. I wouldn't have either. All right, yeah, Spieth is back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say Spieth is back this week. We haven't seen. When's Dustin playing?
My strategy of like taking pretty names to look at on paper for our season-long draft is not paying out at the moment.
There are 37 more events to go. Actually, I think there's more because we do the crossover events too, like this whatever they're called. What are they called? The alternate events, like the Barracuda and the Corrales. Not that you're gonna have many guys in those tournaments, but
I could.
Landry, Scheffler both played really well. You know what we got again? We got to feast for the first time this year, a Ricky Saturday. That's 2 Ricky Saturdays actually this year. One at TOC, one this week.
I wasn't having no Ricky investment. It was like torn, but I was still wearing my orange underwear, my 2 unders.
What's going on with this guy?
That's, I don't know. Straight up real life show pony his whole career is just a show pony, right?
Okay, so you know how we always try to make comparisons, like is he this guy, is he this guy? Do you know who his who his career is starting to look like?
I'm not going to like this, but it's not good. I don't know. Not even Sergio, because Sergio at least won, right?
Just think about it. What does Ricky love?
Hugging people?
He loves hugging people. He likes being like a nice guy. Everyone likes Ricky.
Phil, we're past that. Are we still there?
He's not Phil. Phil has like 4 majors. No way.
Phil had like 40 wins. But when did Phil win his first major?
32.
So I'm just saying that Phil thing is something when we first started doing the show, I could be like, he could still do that.
So he can still do that because Ricky's 30 now, right?
Yeah, 30.
So he has time to kind of, because Sergio was
31 soon, maybe.
He was sort of like the poor man Sergio before Sergio won at Augusta. So Ricky seems to have 2 paths he can go down. He can turn into Phil. He can still definitely do that. Or he becomes the new Matt Kuchar. He's won the Players. Yeah. Like he's going to win events. Yeah, you're putting this but he's just going to have a ton of top 10s.
Yeah, he's like
Furyk.
Okay, I thought you were going to give me a name that I was really going to hate like Ricky, so much
clearly
more.
Ricky is good. But Kuchar's also good. Like Kuchar's going to go to the Hall of Fame, I would assume, at some point. He has, like 15 wins or something? And the most top 10s, clearly. At least in my head canon of anyone ever. He comes top 10 in every tournament.
Okay.
But he's just sort of like a cash cow, but not a winner.
I don't know, Ricky. I'm only going to defend it on a whole, but Saturday was crushing. The only positive way I could put it is he was there and he didn't go overseas, and he seems committed more to being PGA Tour. I don't want to say PGA because he's always been that guy, but I don't know. Maybe there's just a different level of commitment there, even showing up for this week.
Well, that's good.
And I think
that's good for the Farmers, though, because usually he's overseas, plays the Farmers, plays horribly, and then plays really well in Phoenix the next week.
Now, here's the problem. Worst case scenarios happen because he goes to Phoenix. The times he's even like won in Phoenix, things must have been going so bad before him. Like we caught a full 20 on him last year at Phoenix. The fact that there's any sign of life in Ricky now means Phoenix is going to be like a 12. It almost doesn't matter what happens this week.
I don't even know who's going.
Actually, Justin could be in Phoenix.
And Hideki will definitely be there, and he'll always get the boost just because he plays so well there. And if Webb goes, Webb always plays there as well. And you might get Bubba back. Maybe catch a number on Bubba.
Could.
Is this a Bubba year? Bubba had an off year last year, so it's a Bubba year this year. Maybe we should bet Bubba Watson this week. Get to that. What else do we have? Lee Westwood.
Someone already chirped me about Bubba this week.
Like they think that he's a good play.
Yeah.
I was looking into it. Like he's won here before, so that's always a positive sign whenever you're dealing with Bubba.
This is a big boy place. We don't have much of a track record of a Landry barnstorming nothing.
No, I would not put Bubba into the Landry bucket, though. Even though he's going to be like 90-1 or whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
He's a part of the big boy group when he decides to show up.
I agree. I'm just saying, as we get farther along, like my list, like it gets cut off quickly. Last week it was fun to do bombs because of where we were. Last week I'll just shut up and listen to you because there's nothing. There's very little I could be tempted on because only super elites seem to win this tournament.
It's hardcore.
My favorite in the world. As you can see, I'm ready for a tournament in a year and a half from now.
How long have you owned that gear for?
A long time. I love that place. Sometimes I'll just go there, Pat, and just loiter the property and not even play.
Till they say, sir, you must leave now.
Like my wife will go to the mall, she'll drop me off, and I'll just loiter the grounds. And I really regret when I was recently there, I had one available day, I could have played, and I decided to go watch the loser Chargers. What a fucking nut zero negative EV call that was.
Plus EV, Lee Westwood.
He's one of the few guys I literally like. It's a real smile, not a cent. Doesn't even matter. Love that guy.
Does this get him into the British Open?
How can it not?
I don't know if every Rolex Series event comes along with an entry. Like, is he at Augusta?
Probably not. That's a hard ass.
Because I saw people betting him at Augusta, but I don't know if he's in the field or not.
That's a funny bet. The tournament would have to go real sideways. It'd have to be the real tough.
It'd have to
weather.
be when the year that Willett won. I think Westwood was third, or he ended up coming second or whatever.
Love Oh my God, what a bloke.
The only reason that I bring it up is that if he is in the British Open, like that is actually a course.
Darren Clark won.
Yeah.
It's an old person track. It would be magic for Westy to Clark.
Would you give up a Tiger Woods major at the British Open to see Lee Westwood win?
No, because I've already bet that pretty good. But, geez.
The answer is no.
Yeah, I said no out of the gate. But that makes me, feel warm inside. I love Lee Westwood.
Next story. Tommy Two Gloves, Tommy Gainey, won on the Corn Ferry Tour a month after getting busted in a prostitution ring sting.
Was he 300-1 too?
What a rebound.
Yeah, that's something we should still be talking about.
No one has really talked about it, I feel. When you turned on Golf Channel, it wasn't like, Tommy Two Glove, from hookers to wins.
No.
How many hookers can Tommy afford now?
Yeah, it's one of those it's those random corn events that are going on Sunday through Wednesday.
It's live on Twitter as we speak right now. You can watch it. I think Ollie Schneiderjans is playing.
Do you know that a website we really like left their odds up this morning as like the second round was really in play? And I bet a couple guys.
Have they taken your bets back yet?
No, I'm still expecting them to, but now it's like I can enjoy the sweat, but it'll probably get taken back, so I don't even know.
It was like that time where we bet Bryson 1,000 to 1 to win the U.S. Open.
Oh, yeah.
And then they immediately took all of that off.
I don't even know where we were, but this place is magical. This place.
We're not even there yet. I was talking about Two Hooker Tommy.
Oh yeah, fucking right. That's why we have a podcast, because they don't talk about this shit anywhere. This is like
this should be a real story.
Win of the year movie. Let's go.
Rated R.
I don't know. I don't even know what to make of it. Apparently he was like an insane like 300 to 1 though.
I didn't realize he was that deep. I was just like, but
I could be wrong on that, but that's what I believe I saw.
He was on Big Break, right? That was his thing. He was on Big Break like a decade ago, and then he played on tour. He played like well on tour. Wears the 2 gloves. Do you think he wears the 2 gloves with the hookers?
I doubt it.
You know who else wears 2 gloves when he golfs? And a fedora. Tim Andercast. Not sure how he's doing on the hooker front. Although he has some extra cash now after hitting his Landry Chiefs parlay. Maybe he's going to go down the Tommy 2 gloves route. I don't know. What was the other thing that I had? Oh, Bryson versus Brooks. I have a take on this. You want to hear
it? Give it to me.
I think it's all coordinated between them. I think that they're pals.
Everyone's buy that.
Everyone's just like, Brooks hates Bryson. Bryson's such a dickhead. But like, whenever you see them together, they always seem to be getting along.
And they're not together a lot. And they literally did a photo op for the freaking tournament like 2 days before where they were doing like science garb things. And they probably concocted it then, no pun intended.
Like Brooks always talks about how he plays up like the no respect angle because no one ever talks about him. But he seems to be like social media savvy. He picks his spots. He's
really good. He just hits jacks.
And it's a big win for him because outside of like me and you, everyone hates Bryson. So he's a good enemy to have because it makes you more popular.
Brooks doesn't hit singles. He doesn't hit singles.
Do you think that Brooks has a buzzer on the inside of his collar? That's why he hits dingers all the time?
At the rate he plays, his like major stats are like Altuve home games. I don't know. That was a shitty joke. You're right.
Did you know that in 2017, Jose Altuve actually had a better OPS on the road than at home? So how dare you, Jeff?
I
read that from Houston fan 0082.
No, I could really buy into them being, them in on this. But Bryson is so funny too, doing that. And we talked about it on last week's show.
Eric Patterson finds the clip,
and then I think he's watching it in real time. Maybe they're watching it
and
after
he makes the
fact.
clip, and everyone picked up his clip.
It was pick up worthy, but you're right. We could all just be fish, minnows, eating it up. I eat it up.
Even the way
I eat it up.
Now I haven't. Maybe like Eric works like next door, so maybe we can get him over here at some point and talk to him, like when he's done his deep dive on Bryson Twitch streams. However, that when you hear like Bryson. The way that he was talking shit to Brooks on the stream is like how I would talk shit to you, my friend.
True.
And he's not like going after other people. So it seems really weird that it seems like him and Brooks are pals. And he just decided to take a few shots at him because he thinks it's funny.
But I feel like, are the questions planted? Because I feel like people can like type to you while you're playing those things on the Twitch.
On the TV, Tim?
I'm making fun of Tim and like how older people would say it.
Yes, there was a live chat feature to
and I feel like someone asked him the question about Brooks. I feel like that was the genesis of. I don't think he just like it came up.
No, but if someone asks you like, what do you make of Scott Stallings being suspended for PEDs before? There's probably like a no comment. Or you don't have to answer every question that comes up, but you see one about your friend Brooks and you know you can like take a shot at him. And it's a pretty harmless shot. It's about how you have a 6-pack and he doesn't. Like, it's not like Brooks is a bad person. I hate him. That wasn't the comment. That's what people want to project onto it. And I saw Wiley was getting mad that he doesn't like this sort of feud between like I love it. Give me more of this. If they want to have like a real or fake feud, I'm pro feuds. Patrick Reed versus everyone. Brooks versus
just
Bryson.
the whole I don't know. I like it real, but there's so many parts of. I don't know. There's so many parts like people like the feuding, but these guys still they walk up the fairways together, like shit and giggling all the time. It feels like too.
Let's go to the farmers. Rory can overtake Mr. Koepka.
Wouldn't that be?
With a win this week as the number 1 player in the world. Brooks did not play well overseas. His first time back in like months coming off of an injury.
A good first round.
He didn't have a great next 3 rounds.
Yeah, I don't know. He cashed a check. But what are we talking about? Oh,
I'm talking about Rory.
Brooks
can be number 1.
But isn't Brooks didn't he win this where he is this week?
No, remember last week we were talking about the tournament that people won that correlated to the Masters? That's this one.
Oh.
It wasn't the one last week.
Yeah, but we corrected ourselves.
Eventually.
When we saw
we talked about it for like 10 minutes before.
Like a minute. Because I looked at it and it's like Fleetwood won this thing, and I never saw his name. And he's a Sunday Charger, that Tommy.
He loves that tournament in particular.
Yeah.
Was he 9 under on Sunday? So there's 2 courses in play this week. You have Torrey Pines North and Torrey Pines South. Torrey Pines South is the one that you're advocating for here with your U.S. Open gear. That's where they play the U.S. Open at the South course. It is the longest course on the PGA Tour, 7,700 yards. 3 rounds will be played there. It's POA greens. Both courses in general down in difficulty, like lows for a while. This is usually a top 10 course in terms of difficulty. It was only 18th out of 49 last year. Torrey Pines North, the easier of the courses, and it's 450 yards shorter, is usually like 25th of 50 on tour. It was 41st? Yeah, 41st of 49 courses.
Because they did the renovations to sort of make it comparable. But
when one is 450 yards longer, it tends to be a bigger deal than not. So there's a few like trends that you can find with this, like 9 of the past 11. There was a Kenny Kim stat. 9 of the past 11 winners have had a previous top 10 at this tournament before. The only 2 was John Rahm when he won his first appearance a few years ago, and Scott Stallings when he won in 2014. The other one was, because I went back and looked at my column from last year, 8 winners in a row had started at the South course. Rose started at the North course last year. And no winner has ever shot over par at the North course since 1983. But this sucks because the North course doesn't have shot tracker. So if you're playing like DK Showdown, you're going to only want to take people from the North course. And then you're going to be doing that thing like we were doing this week at the American Express. Be like, shot 2 from fairway. Like, oh, wonder how this is going to go.
That app was overwhelmed this week.
I would just really like to know how Molinari actually played. Because I have no idea. Like, did he hit everything to 3 feet and miss putts every single time, or was he just horrible? Because I don't know. I couldn't see a shot. The stats don't tell me anything. Just tells me he basically had 3 Jim Furyk rounds of all pars. Which would be helpful information for this week, by the way. Key stats to look at. What do I got here? Ball striking, par 5s, driving distance, par 4s, 450 to 500 yards, and went back and looked at the strokes gain data. You can only find it from the South course, but there's 3 rounds there as opposed to 1. Basically, everyone who comes inside the top 10 every year gains strokes around the green. Like, you hit so few fairways here, you're going to have to scramble. If you have a shitty short game, you are not winning and not doing well. So, watch out, Chesson Hadley. Probably not going to play well.
No, but eyes on Chesson for Phoenix.
You're back on Chesson for Phoenix?
No, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like he's a good like desert track guy.
I can see
historically,
that. And that's just a go. And that's a go and make birdies course. So that makes a lot of sense. Favorites this week, and this is probably who you're going to want to pick from. Past winners, Jeff. Well, do you know any of these guys? Justin Rose, Jason Day, John Rahm, Brent Snedeker. That was the fun wind event that finished on the Monday. So I wouldn't really point to 2016 as a year to go like look up stats. Jason Day, Scott Stallings, Tiger Woods. Snedeker and Bubba Watson also have wins in the last decade. Tiger has won this event 7 times. He won a U.S. Open here. Rory is the favorite, though. Rory is 6-1. Rahm is 7.5-1. Tiger is 11. Rose is 16. Xander is 16. Hideki 18. Ricky, Gary 25. Tony Finau, Sung J M, Patrick Reed 28-1. That's your team from below 30-1.
I mean, I'm human, so I did have a moment this morning where I thought about just emptying the clip on Rory. But it just didn't, I don't, it's just not my style. I don't want to, do that, but I feel it.
I don't know the last time like the favorite has actually won here. Maybe
not. And hopefully I'm wrong. I mean, hopefully that continues because I'm just going to spread my money.
Well, tell people who you've already bet on and why that's a problem.
I've bet on Finau.
And then what did you find out?
That he's been cucked, undercucked. Kind of unfairly, but I submit to the rules of the game. 30-1 Finau. I'm such a sucker, but I believe in the guy. But let's go lower.
My first lean was towards Hideki. Now, his finishes are sort of misleading here because he came third last year, remember? He stormed Sunday.
Yeah, last year we had like 40-45s. I went to bed leaning Hideki. I wanted a number. I thought hopefully I could catch Hideki where like Finau is. He had a great Sunday at Tournament of Champion.
At Sony.
Like barely made the cut, had a nice little weekend. I was worried about him kind of catching on. I went to bed thinking I really like Hideki this week. And another guy who's not even in the field, and I'm kind of surprised by that, is Alex Noren.
Yeah, where is Noren?
This was the event. Why he's showing up at Birdie Fest? This would be exactly where his game, in my opinion, could play.
Maybe he was like, I don't want to get paired with JB Holmes. That's not happening for me. What actually, that's the one guy. Where is JB Holmes this week? Where are his odds? Is he even playing?
Oh, that was here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm angry again. Oh, that was a
JB
Holmes. Damn it.
JB Holmes is 140-1 this week. Feel like he should almost be an auto bet.
What he didn't win this last year.
No, he's lost.
He won Genesis. He stole from JT. He didn't steal it.
He did, but like he either misses the cut or loses in a playoff at this event. Because the year that Day won, the first year that Day won, him, Stallings, Woodland, the four of them all went to a playoff. Okay,
yeah, last year we caught great numbers on Hideki. I'm not gonna lie. Once I decided I couldn't bet Rory, it's just not feasible. I'm not betting that. Xander always seems to, everything he does spells here. He's a local kid also, but he doesn't seem to get it done here for some reason.
Past 4 years at this event, he missed the cut the first 3 years. Was T25 last year, so the first time he ended up making the cut. I think it's one of those situations where, remember every year in Dallas, Spieth would be the favorite? And like no matter how well he was playing, he would go to Dallas and come like T45. I think it's just like you have a lot of commitments when you're from that place.
Yeah.
Like you got to get tickets for everyone. That seems to weigh more on golfers than almost any other sport.
And I could argue Xander's coming in there now as like a bigger deal. Like he's not like, oh, the local news guy spotlighting him. Like he's kind of
no. Last year he would have won like Tournament of Champions. He would have had a few.
Fair
wins.
enough.
So
yeah, I take that
at
back.
That same level.
I want to say I could argue Xander should be priced. Hold your breath with Tiger Woods. Like to me, the numbers bear that out, but he really has struggled here, and it's a
come on, man.
It's a horse course. No, I think he should be priced there potentially.
I don't even understand why Tiger's priced at 11-1. If you price Tiger at 2-1, he would still garner the most money on him this week. Like Tiger can't be related to anyone else in the field in terms of betting odds because you're never going to get his true value. Like, is he 11-1 to win this tournament? No, he could win. So actually played pretty well here the last 2 years. 2 top 25s, but does Tiger legitimately have a better chance of winning this tournament than Xander or Hideki or Rose? Probably not.
I don't agree. I'm not betting Tiger. Didn't even really think about it once.
Well, it's 11-1. Like I would have I think Rory 6-1 or Rahm 7.5 is a much better bet than Tiger at 11-1. Like if I was to really price out Tiger, he'd be 20-1 or 22-1 or something. Like he's not egregiously overpriced, but you're paying the Tiger tax on him. And
that being said, if he's in it,
yeah, watch out.
Yeah,
he's won this event 7 times.
Yeah,
and won a major here.
Like I don't want to price him too close to Gary Woodland because I saw them play head to head in China and start the day with a similar score. Didn't finish that way.
Woodland is interesting though, 25-1. He's another guy who's lost in a playoff here before.
There is a site with a 33 pat.
Is there?
Yeah, it's available to us. Like it.
Last 4 finishes for Gary Woodland: 7th, 7th, 5th, 3rd. So he's going in the wrong direction from 3rd to 7th, but 4 consecutive top 10s ain't bad.
How much do you want to see the draw before you want to bet $1?
I don't.
Or before you, I don't know. Are we overreacting? Not reacting?
Like, what do I care about the draw?
I don't know. Sometimes it's not a place where that's important. And it's not the British Open. I'm not making it.
Are you
like
talking
that.
about the weather draw or the course draw?
Just the tee times more so than the weather.
I would. What did the tee times matter?
Or like the split on north south.
Like I said, the 8 winners in a row played the South course first. Rose played the North course last year when like that became like a stat people quoted. He ended up winning. Like it didn't matter. I would prefer my guys play the South first, but if you're not going to play the North well, it doesn't really matter.
And you like Hideki more than Xander.
I like Hideki.
Those are the 2
Xander.
guys under 20-1, the only 2 that I think could actually see my money. Yeah.
Do the rest of the 20s? I mean, you like Finau, who's played really well at this event. Never won, obviously, because he's Tony Finau. But like Fowler, Woodland, Reed, any of those guys?
This course is everything that Ricky Fowler should be able to do well.
No, he doesn't bomb it as much as you would want.
But he's so accurate with the long irons that I'm just going to go on a 30-second Ricky rant for a second. As Ricky gets
fun,
as Ricky's in his 30s now, he's got to depend on those long irons and that putter. He gets himself into trouble with that driver too much.
That's not the end of the world here. Just because everyone misses so many fairways and he's so good at scrambling that he can get himself out of it if those long irons are on. So I see your point on that. It's weird to look at his performances at this event over the years and realizing that a lot of it has to do with him coming over from the Middle East most of the time to play in this event. He's
also a San Diego,
and he's the face of Farmers,
California,
too. So
SoCal kid.
And ever since basically he became the face of Farmers Insurance, he's been terrible at this tournament because I think they have him there on a Monday, meeting people for 12 hours, not necessarily on the range. Like this is an event where he has to go to and kiss some boots. Get that money, Ricky.
I gotta say, I respect Phil Mickelson, great player, but holy fuck, the broadcast and the water carrying they do for that guy is embarrassing.
He leads.
Embarrassing.
I looked
How many times? He's the host. He's got. Literally, the guy couldn't take a shot. Every shot was bad, and every shot we were reminded he's the host, and it's not his fault. He's playing bad. Now, I'll say this about Phil: he wakes up in the morning and sees Lee Westwood win. That's a jolt, man. That's a jolt. I believe in that.
How old
Just
is
like
Lee
when
Westwood?
Tiger was on his deathbed and we're like seeing Davis Love win the Wyndham. To me, that's a jolt. That's got to be a jolt. If that's not a jolt, retire. I don't actually mean that, but you know what I mean.
Lee Westwood's only 46. Like he's closer to Tiger in age than Phil in age, for one thing. But
I love that Westwood pouch. Man, the guy's fucking the man.
Per Fantasy National, Phil Mickelson leads the tour in strokes gained, irrelevant shots shown on TV.
That's not ending anytime soon.
Let's cut to Phil, who's +9. Got to show him. I'm looking at it right now.
Who did I want to look at?
You talk about those long irons. Of the guys inside the top 10 in pricing, Ricky is actually the only one over the past 50 rounds in strokes gained in proximity from 175 to 200 and 200 plus.
I think the week sets...
Rory and Tiger are very close. Very close.
I think the week sets up well for Ricky. I don't think he could actually take my money, though, which sucks for me to say.
I'd rather bet Tiger at 11-1 than Ricky at 25.
Yeah, I just said, I think the week sets up well, and I think a lot of people could be waiting for him to pop this week. I think he set up his year to sort of have some early success. And I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know. At this point, it's show pony life, I feel.
So last week, I lost some money on Francesco Molinari. Why did I lose money on Francesco Molinari? Well, I was convinced he was the best player in the field, and we were getting a 40-1 number on him. Now, looking at the sheet this week, Jason Day is 40 to 1. He's won this tournament like 2 of the past 5 years. Why is he 40 to 1? And should he be a blind bet?
I saw a book open with a 25.
I saw a 22 on him.
They realized they were mistaken.
The book that I have has it at 40.
I've seen it come up everywhere, and now seeing the 40s, 35 is sort of the main number. I'm not doing it.
Why?
I think it's sucker's bet, just like Francesco was last. I actually like this bet a lot more than I like Francesco last week.
I think I'm going to do it. His track record here is sterling. And then I went back and looked. I know he's coming off injury, but when is Day not coming off injury, for one thing? But it's not like he comes in hot every single year. Like, this is most of, like, 50% of the time, this is his first tournament of the year.
Yeah.
So I don't think the rust is really going to get to him. There's something about this course, like, he's got the greens figured out. And he drives the ball a mile. And he's not super accurate, but that doesn't seem to matter here.
I agree. You're making very good points. Again, I like this. You could sell me on. There was not a moment where I was going to bet on Francesco last week. Just his MO of shows up, doesn't even practice, like, let's play some golf. Granted, you're right. We can't really break down how good or bad he was.
We can look at how he did at the stadium course. That's it.
On to the next. But I don't know. We got to back this bus up a little bit.
We get it, but Day seems egregiously priced here. Is my main concern about it. And looking back at what he's done, what do you think his results are at this tournament?
He's won it twice, then he probably bridesmaided or T5'd it a handful. So break it down.
5th, first, miscut, 1st, 2nd, 9th. He won 2 years ago without gaining strokes on approach.
Is he healthy?
I don't know.
He didn't play the President's Cup.
No, he's coming off of injury. And that's why his number's so low. But who has more experience with coming off of injury than Jason Day?
You're right. That's like Tuesday.
Yeah. And on Wednesday, we're going to hear like, oh, Jason Day broke his leg, but he's still in the tournament. Then he'll win. I don't know. Like, people get this show confused with the DraftKings show all the time, and I feel bad. I mean, I don't. People should know. Like, we're talking about betting on this show. We're not talking about DraftKings. DraftKings show is reserved for DraftKings. People are like, I played all the Molinari, like you said. It's like, I didn't say I played a ton of Molinari on DraftKings. He was 40 to 1 in the betting market.
Yeah. Can I just break it down for you how it's different? Guess what? Guess how much money did you win on Molinari?
0.
How much did I win on Answer?
0.
Thanks.
Yeah. Both 40 to 1.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
like we're betting outrights here. Or trying to.
One of my main draws today is that I'm convinced, like you, like everyone is, that someone really good is going to win this because that is the track record of this tournament. And he's the best guy at the deepest price.
Oh, yeah, we could cut off shortly behind him, and I'm not even joking.
And there are names that, like, I like these names, but... So we'll back it up. Morikawa and Scheffler are 30 and 35.
We're going to have the Wolf conversation?
I already bet Wolf. He's 75.
Is it? I know you like that in general, but like based on these two guys,
they've been playing better than Wolf. So I think Scheffler makes a lot of sense here. But the fact that he's 35 and Jason Day is 40 is, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that.
I got Woodland at 33.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I said this last week. He was 28 to 1. It's like, that seems really high for this field. I mean, what does he do? He comes in second. He could have won. He has the skill set to win at this course.
Yeah, and Morikawa like fits this place. Like, I mean, he's like Ricky who can win, right?
Sort of. He doesn't really drive the ball all that far.
Those irons aren't those his best asset?
They are, but I don't know if it's necessarily the long irons. Right. And you're going to be playing a lot of deep shots at this course.
And what do we make?
And not great around the greens all the time. And realistically, what he did at the Sony was somewhat concerning. He was there and then completely vanished. Yeah, well, that was not great.
I wasn't invested, so I didn't mind that one bit. Patrick Reed.
Okay.
Anything, any love, or the driver could just be too sporadic here? He'll scramble the shit out of this place.
I no pass for me on Patrick Reed at this event. Like this is a bomber's track. Patrick Reed is not a bomber, and it's not like he's a accuracy maven.
No,
like if you're gonna be like, remember KJ Choi had made the cut here like 20 straight years.
KJ Choi was battling Snedeker in that crazy weather Monday.
Yeah, like Snedeker's really the only short hitter who's won here. And one year he did it in a hurricane because he finished the day before. He had posted on the Sunday and just sat back because everyone went out on Monday and lost.
I think we might have even had like Jimmy Walker in the lead.
We did. We had Jimmy Walker.
It was like dead money on Monday morning.
He tried to rally.
He's 225 to 1. Don't think I didn't look for that.
So I remember Scott Brown that week too was crushing it. He was like 250 to 1. He was tied for the lead. I believe he shot 87 on Sunday.
Oh. I mean, the day when we bet Jimmy Walker, he was probably like 20 to 1, 25 to 1. But today, Jimmy Walker's 225 to 1.
Yeah, Jimmy Walker is one of the favorites at this event. The year on him. So the rest of the guys, you got like Cam Smith,
who I think you hate him, but I don't know.
He just won, so in my face.
I don't think it's a horrible number.
We don't need commentary on every single guy. Can you just let me read the guys? Is that okay?
I'm ready.
Cam Smith, 40. Snedeker, Leishman, 45. Spieth, 50. Neiman, 50. Palmer, Lonto, 60. Horschel, 66. On, 70. Wolf, 70. Champ, 70. Molinari, he's back. He's 75. So is Griot. So is Keegan. Harris English, Kokrak, Knox, Bubba, Phil, your guy, Bud Cauley. Bud Cauley showed up. Did you have money on him last week?
No, but
he has worse odds.
He could have T5 that.
He has worse odds this week than he did last week.
Did he hit it far enough to even contend here?
I don't know. I'm going to say no. 121st in this field in driving distance gained.
Okay.
Should we be considering Champ? Champ and Wolf. Just two guys who crush it.
I would rather bet Wolf than Champ.
I would too, and that would boil down to me for the around the green play.
That's really all it boils down to.
Wolf can scramble and Wolf can putt.
Yeah.
Some weeks Champ can putt, but he cannot scramble ever. So Wolf took my money. You know who else took my money coming off an Ander curse? Ben An. He's the right skill set for you.
Yeah. He's a poor version of a lot of what you're going to pay for. And that's why you bet him a lot, but I don't know. I mean, I agree with your sentiments on guys like him that betting them in like when they're like 20 to 1 is probably the worst times to bet those guys. Because if he does putt, doesn't matter what layout it's on,
he's going to play well.
He's going to be right there.
Well, and started the week because he was Tim's one and done.
4 under.
4 under after 4 holes. I think he finished like -2 for the week. But it's just funny to look at his odds. So he's 70 to 1 this week. He was 20 to 1 last week.
Or 25.
25, whatever. He was up in that grouping like Fowler was the favorite at 11 to 1. And he was 25 to 1. And now he's 75 to 1 and Fowler's 25. Like seems like there's something. One of them's overvalued or was overvalued, or one of them's undervalued and is now undervalued, like based on those odds. But I like his game for here. Like he hits it a ton. He's pretty accurate. He can scramble. He just can't putt. Which is, a thing, but maybe this week he can.
I think Cameron Smith isn't a bad number. I'm not betting that, but I don't think it's a bad number. Neiman, do anything for you?
Yeah, all these guys are, just Neiman's ball striking is off the charts. He's another guy who can't really scramble, though. So I do worry about him at tougher places. Yeah. But if this course plays as easy as it did last year, then maybe we're onto something.
Do you know who's going to win? I don't want to say it.
Well, if you know who's going to win, please tell me. I'll bet on that person.
It's a dumb comment because I was going to say this gentleman is going to win one of the next 3 weeks. But it's so stupid to say that out loud. And the guy never, ever, ever wins, so I shouldn't say it.
Who?
He's Andercursed this week. It's Finau.
Oh, Finau. Well, he sucks in Phoenix every year.
He should be amazing in Phoenix.
No, man, I'm telling you. You put the Mormon guy in the middle of party atmosphere, he's out of his element. Let's get the fuck out of there. Palmer, I think, is really interesting.
I've seen his name. You go.
No, you were going. You okay?
No. Something Finau got me. Your party joke, maybe. I've seen Palmer's name pop up a bit today already.
Well, he was in that playoff with Noren and was he in the playoff with Noren and Holmes? He had one he had one really big run here.
He exited though. I don't think he made it to the Monday. Does that make sense?
Who ended up winning that? Day? Is that the one Day ended up winning?
Yes. It wasn't Holmes wasn't in the playoffs. He just wasted everyone's
goddamn
time.
That's right.
That's why we fuck. Where is Noren?
So Palmer, you should probably bet
70. What are you getting?
If you really want, when I bet Ann and I bet Wolf, a lot of that had to do with the T5 number. I get attached them to the top 5 when I play the each way. This could be a week that if you want to take these bomb type players, just play the each way on them. Play the each way on them, or just bet them top 5, top 10, and don't bet them outright. That makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. But sometimes
you can see
that peace of mind, you might want a little piece.
Yeah,
I always need a bite.
I'm with you, but if you're going to play this like reasonably or sensibly, which we can't do.
If someone could take what I know and apply sensible approach,
you'd be better.
I would be in such a better place. Not that I'm in a bad place, but I could be a lot better. I just don't know how. I don't want to know how either, though.
Why?
I like what I do. I like the sweats that they bring.
Oh, yeah, the big money sweats. So the top 10 players in par 4s, 450 to 500 yards, where all the hard holes kind of come from this week. Rory, Tiger, Rahm, 1, 2, 3. DJ Trahan, number 4. Justin Rose, Bud Colley, your guy. Billy Ho, coming off a bad week. Snedeker, Joaquin Niemann. Tom Hoagie. Put a blitz on the leaderboard on Sunday last week. And it's like Killa Keith, Morikawa, Ortiz.
Boy, Ortiz lost me money on DraftKings.
Really?
He
had a hole in one.
I know, other people. Great lineup, and so everyone in front of me had that Ortiz charm. Vaughn Taylor could rot too.
Vaughn Taylor making the cut was incredibly tilting. I really wanted, because he shot like 9 under to make the cut.
Popular.
I didn't have him. I was like, just miss the cut, Vaughn Taylor. Go away.
I make a lot of mistakes here, but I'll never be touting Vaughn Taylor. Okay, moving on.
So long. Is there anyone below 100 to 1 you still want to talk about? Like, did we gloss over Snedeker?
I think we gave Bubba kind of a respect that I think he's in a different category
I will
here.
consider Bubba at 90 to 1. I really will. But that might just be a top. Now, if I'm going to bet Bubba, I'm going to bet him to win. Guy can win.
I mean, Noxious isn't long enough.
I think so, yeah.
Could Grillo make any putts?
Oh, no is the answer to that question. When was the last time he made a putt? Just give him gimmies at this point.
No, I don't like it. I don't know. I mean, if you're going to the back, you're just buying a profile, right?
Yeah.
Like Johnny Vegas, like Jimmy Walker.
Well, I have a couple guys like that.
There's a profile that you're just that you're going to try to buy as opposed to the player. I don't know.
So, what do we need to say about Jordan Spieth?
Oh,
anything?
Let's get that. What's the world ranking?
He's top 50.
We're still top 50?
I believe so, yeah.
I had it up.
42nd, maybe?
We are, as of today, 45. Guess who's 44? We talked about him.
Cam Smith.
As long as anybody.
Bubba Watson.
Nope.
Byung-Hun An.
Nope.
Scotty Scheffler.
Nope. Jason Day.
Really?
Yeah. Weird, right?
He's always hurt.
I guess.
Like, there's just stretches, like, you have to catch him at, like, where the official world golf rankings go over 2 years.
Exactly.
You have to hit him at, like, the right pocket, and, like, all of a sudden he's 13th.
Yes.
But he can lose points so quickly.
Him and Spieth.
Exactly. But Spieth plays every week. Jason Day does not.
Are you going to tell me about Matt Naismith? Is that who you want to tell me about?
Inventor of basketball? James Naismith? No.
He's
I want to talk about Spieth. Do you not want to talk about Spieth?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think is a good finish for him this week? Besides win. Like, I know you don't like Spieth.
No.
You don't. But if you were to see something to say, hey, he looks like he's turned it around a little bit, what would you need to see from him?
Just avoiding big numbers at a really hard course, I'd be satisfied.
So, like,
because I think it all, as much as like whatever. I think my dislike of him is overblown, but I do find great humor in what has happened, and I do feel like I should get some pats on the back for calling it. That being said, I'm here for 50-1 Spieth. I'm not betting it this week because I think it's just not the right setup, but I'll try and find the spot. I'll try and find it. I think he can win this year. But what's a success? He could finish 50th, but if he doesn't like make a double and things like look right, that's a success for me. So he's got a different standard, I'm sure.
So what we're looking for from Spieth here is one of those weeks where like he gains strokes off the tee, gains strokes in approach, and has like a really bad putting week. That's what we're looking for. He comes like T37 because we'll keep the number. That you're like, oh, that's encouraging.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That he could miss all the putts, it wouldn't bother me. If we see that the approaches are fine, he doesn't have to, he's not scrambling from near the Pacific. I mean, what a course. This isn't Pebble Beach, but oh my, what a course. Well, oh, what a place. What a place. Love staring at that place. I'm with those sea lions in La Jolla. You just see on the distance, those beautiful Torrey Pines. A lot of people are going to be there, apparently, too. Rick, EPAT.
EPAT's going?
EPAT.
Going from Toronto to San Diego?
No, hear me out. It must be a work thing.
It's a nice visit because I was looking at the DFS Open stuff in West Palm Beach this morning. It was minus 21 when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
And it was plus 23.
Can't wait.
It was like, I wish that was this week. Wish it was today.
I don't know his Instagram, but follow him on Twitter. He's going out there to like the TaylorMade factory. Like everything's out there.
Yeah, he's a real
golfer.
Doing like,
yeah. So
not like us.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's going like a whole behind the scenes. It must be a feature for work. So he's like in.
Good time to get out of Toronto too.
Yeah, great time. And to speak of Rose's win last year, I don't know if you remember this.
New clubs.
The
Can't
new
win.
clubs,
Sucks.
the Homa. But he went being right here. Everyone is there. TaylorMade, Puma, Callaway, the Kingdom. Everyone is there. If you need an adjustment, this isn't like even the Taylor truck. You could go right into the house. And I don't want to call it internet friends, I think would be the best way to put it, in like all the workshops. And my DMs are open.
And I like that you have all these friends. No one wants to be my friend.
Well, you keep your DMs closed, so you make it harder to build relationships.
I really feel like as someone who once had their DMs opened, all the upside that would come along with having my DMs open is not worth the downside of. Oh my God.
I could imagine yours. I've shown I'll literally on the airplane, I'll have my internet connection and what are you gonna do? I'll be like, I'm gonna respond to these 75, because it's like a segment when you have your DMs open, it's like different. Like the people who you mutually follow, like you'd see it once and then you can hit a different page where it's like people who can message you, but you don't necessarily get notified they messaged you.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be so mad, be like, I'm just going to answer some fan mail right now. I have so many things. I say as a joke, and some real fun things pop up in there.
At least yours sounds fun.
No, well, yours would just be like, who should I start?
Yes.
This guy, and it'd be 100 this or that.
This or that to be like, fuck you for not answering me.
Yeah. Mine isn't
I don't need that. That's horrible.
I'm not. I'll never answer that question anyway, ever.
But it wasn't even that. It's like, your ranking said this and this. Fuck you, I played this guy. I hope you die.
You're right.
That was like 80% of them.
I agree. Your stuff would probably offset. So everything is there. Everyone gets a tune-up. Anyway, friends, they aren't always right, and I love them. But I even showed it to you. Proprietary Rose information, how off he was last week. He went into the warehouse. Last year. They're like, oh, he's driving us nuts. Nothing is working for this guy. He won Torrey Pines 4 days later.
And destroyed
after spazzing at the TaylorMade guys.
Good thing he freaked out.
Well, no, it wasn't. I don't know. Listen, he might have gone back into TaylorMade to work on his Homas. I don't know what happened there, but anyway. He was unconscious last year. So anyway, anyone who needs a tune-up is getting it this week. And if they're not right after their tune-up, their problems... They can't blame their problems on needing a tune-up, is the bottom line.
100-1 plus long shots. I got 3 for you. And most of this is just to play with the top 5 each way. Ortiz is one of them. Ortiz is 175. He's been playing too well for that.
All right. Brendan Steele, one of them?
Is not. No, I went deeper. Like if I'm gonna go deep, I'm gonna go very deep at this and just hope to like spike someone like a JB or a Palmer from the years they like made the playoffs, and then I can basically just hedge a giant number against it, even though they'll still end up being the underdog. Or maybe they can win. Who knows? So he was 1, Carlos Ortiz. Number 2 was
Grayson Murray.
No, it wasn't Grayson Murray. It was, where is it? Cam Davis at 200 to 1. He's played here twice, made the cut both times, and like playing well.
Oh, dude, it's the computer pick. Savvy.
But he's 200 to 1. Wyndham Clark is the other one. You want to talk about like playing a profile? Wyndham Clark is the profile. He's 3rd in par 5 scoring, 16th around the greens, 12th in driving distance, 8th in putting, and 19th in par 4 scoring, 450 to 500. He's not good, but this seems like a, you know, he used to like spike here a lot, Trey Mullinix. He's like a good Trey Mullinix. So that's where I'm at with him. Bad on long approaches, though, which is not encouraging.
You don't need your 300 to 1 Harry Higgs?
Hey, I'm not as big on Higgs as everyone else seems to be.
Luke List pushing 300?
Can't do it. You know how much I would love to play Luke List here. I think he had like a good Friday this week.
Well, I mean, you got to scramble here, right?
Yeah, he used to be able to scramble quite well. Like his around the green game was good. But it has not been good recently.
What about a Coke rack? I know I'm like jumping up, but
How
he kind of is
Coke rack's 80?
Like that Ann profile of really good player who can do a lot of the things, but you're gonna expect the worst from.
Maybe I'm desensitized to it, but like when I think of Ben Ann and I think about his profile, maybe I'm the one who's diluted in this, is that he seems like he could be a world-class player. Like a top 10 player if everything broke right for him for a year. Like, I feel like that's the pedigree that he comes from.
I agree, but didn't we say that about Luke List for a really long time?
That was me or less just joking about Luke List. Like his stat, but no, I get where you're
But a
coming
lot
from.
of the stats lined up that like.
But Luke List kind of came out of like, Luke List is 33. He comes from.
Okay, yes.
Like
I
his
see where you're
background-
going here.
Like Ben Ann is.
Yeah.
Has been legit since he was
Yeah,
16.
yeah.
It'd be like if all of a sudden Maverick McNeely was really good, you'd be like, oh, it just took a while.
Yeah.
Like you were supposed to be the best player on earth. You weren't, but you had those skills. Ann has always had those skills. Like he won the U.S. Amateur?
U.S. Amateur, he's won the BMW
Yeah,
in
like-
Europe. He's won, yeah.
And he's what, 24, I want to say?
Listen, he's gonna be a popular bet next week.
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he screwed me there twice. When I was
Yeah,
there, he
yeah.
screwed me. Ben Ann is 28 now. So, yeah, in 2009, he became the youngest ever winner of the U.S. Amateur. Like, he comes from pedigree. Kokrak doesn't come from pedigree.
So when the
Neither does Luke List. They're good players, and I get why you make the comparison looking at, like, when List was playing well, tee to green, like, he was putting out good results.
Yeah.
And when Kokrak was playing well, tee to green, he was putting out good results.
Great results. A lot of
But Ben Ann has been just doing this for like 4 years now.
When does the military call his ass?
I feel like he's past it.
Right?
There are weird outs that you can have.
I know, but what would he have USAM would have accomplished that for him?
I don't know, but like there's the Asian Games.
Oh, yes. They do have their own games, which let them get at.
So if you medal at the Asian Games,
I could have easily seen him medaling that Asian Games.
I doubt if the Players Championship didn't get Siwoo out of military service. I doubt the BMW PGA, which is the Players of Europe.
There's zero chance. I like that. I like Ben Ann more than I like Matt Wolff, to be honest.
Well, Wolff is sort of like a Rahm play. Where if you think that Wolff can be as good as Rahm, like
because he could find trouble here too, right?
Wolff, yeah, of course. But the year that Rahm won, he was like 45 to 1. We were really gung ho to bet him in Phoenix the next week, and he screwed us this week. Because remember, Wolff played Phoenix last year. He came like T30 or something like that as an amateur. So I think he can go back there and play pretty well. But I think this course sets up perfectly for him. And if you want to talk about like when we look back at like the elite winners of this event. Yes, Rahm won, but when Rahm won, he wasn't an elite guy.
But it was elite pedigree.
Yes, but so was Matthew Wolff.
It would be like Morikawa or any of those guys.
Or Wolff or Neiman or Ann for that matter.
Yeah.
Like looking back on it, it makes a lot of sense. At the time, he was like 17th in odds to win. So you weight that, I would think. Does the President's Cup get him? No, that wouldn't be it.
No chance.
Now I'm really curious.
But what age would they have to go at anyway?
I don't know. Remember, who was it? Sin Soo Choo had to go at like a pretty advanced age.
No, didn't he get out of it because of the Asian Games?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He saved himself with like a silver at an Asian. He got him, which isn't even fair because like Asian Games baseball. No, there's so many good countries, but he got out of it. He never went, unless I'm dead wrong. I think he got out.
What if your parents medal at the Olympics? Do you then not have to go because both of his parents medaled at the Olympics?
Ping pong, right?
Yeah.
Like to see Kuchar play Ann in ping pong. I bet you that's a game.
I don't know if Ann. Did you know who Ann beat in the U.S. Amateur when he was 17 to win? He won 7-5 against who?
Give me the year.
2009.
Is it
only plays well on Bermuda grass?
Keith Mitchell?
Ben Martin.
Oh. Keith Mitchell's not that old.
We've really gone off the rails here.
Yeah, I don't know.
More pedigree stuff from Ann. He was only the second player to win both the U.S. Amateur and the British PGA Championship after Arnold Palmer.
I agree with what you're saying, and it's just allowing ourselves to convince ourselves that it's an okay bet because
I've already made it, Jeff.
Because we can't go too far down the board because we agree only really good players win here. But Ben Ann has the pedigree of a really good player. Not like, we're not giving him Bubba's pedigree, who we're also going to look into. Those are the only type of guys allowed. You have to think they have really elite pedigree, even if other people don't see it.
Agree.
Okay. So let me just try to get myself.
That's all I really want to talk about from that. I do want to talk about the other one too. Euro.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi this week for the Omega Masters. I really wish
it confused the shit out of me too.
I really wish I paid more attention to the European Tour. I feel like I would have this down. But the names just so similar.
They're all the same, and Omega does it, and it's all hard to figure out.
What is Omega? Is it the
They're
watch
watches.
company? Okay.
But they have the Rolex series. You'd think they wouldn't allow the double-edged sponsorship with the high.
Well, is this a Rolex series event? I'd have to imagine it is. The Omega Dubai Desert Classic is what
they're all desert classics, bro.
Not last week. It was the American Express. They probably had to change the name. Tommy, Fitzpatrick, Louis, Stenson, Sergio, Bryson, Lowry, Burned, Victor Perez, Lee Westwood, Jazz. Any of those names do it for you? For a double at least?
Like, honestly, Louis on an each way on your double.
Just play him top 5. Although I think he came 6th last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Whenever
you have the bet in, he will finish one spot worse than that. Like, would you go, like, Hao Tong's won this before. Would you go, like, Hao Tong 33? Willett's 40.
I like Willett.
Willett's won this, obviously.
I like Willett. I was looking at it. I'm staring at his 50, to be honest. And he has won this, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah.
Vic, Big Vic is 40.
Is that are we finally seeing a good Vic number? That's as big as we've seen in a long time.
If Vic was in the Farmers, what do you think his odds would be?
He wouldn't be, he'd be 28, 25.
Yeah, I think you're getting value on his number because he's in Europe.
And wasn't he just over there? Wasn't he playing last week too?
Yeah, I have no idea how he did.
But I just mean, I like, if I'm going to bet him, just not flying over and starting today is sort of my point. I don't mind Hovland 45 and Willett at 45.50.
Is Kurt Kitayama an auto bet? Like, he's like 70-1 every week. Who's the other guys? Where's the other guy that everyone always likes? Arnis and Guido. What are those guys at? Guido's 150 and Arnis is 90.
I saw Mike Miller tweet today that take good Lynx players here. Lynx guys.
Hao Tong, Willett, Fleetwood. Sergio is one here. I guess that makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know.
You say you don't know, but you'll be wagering money on this event.
Well, I'll look at it, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Quick picks for the Farmers Insurance Open.
I'll bet Willett and Hovland probably. Yeah. Whatever.
You know,
sorry. I didn't mean whatever.
I clipped this out so we can have a starting point and an end point. Would you like me to reset? Can you refrain from changing the subject after I've moved on? Quick picks for the Farmers Insurance Open. Hideki is my biggest lean at the top right now, but I'm not going to do it as of yet. I'm going to add one of these guys, I believe, towards the end of the week. And I'll wait for the wind draw, I'll wait for the tee draw, the course draw, and try to talk myself into it that way. Before then, I'm going to bet Jason Day at 40-1. I'm going to bet Matthew Wolff and Ben Ann at 70-1 with an each way. And then from the very bottom, mainly for the top 5 each way part of this, but Carlos Ortiz, Cam Davis, and Wyndham Clark. 175, 200, and 200. Hopefully I can get them in the running, and hopefully they can win. You.
I have bet Tony Finau, who is Anderkurst, 30-1. I have bet Gary Woodland, 33-1. I want to bet one of Hideki or Xander. And then I go to the back. I could tail that and pick, though, too. But that's where it would, yeah.
One and done picks for us. You won last week with Abraham Answer, but as our rules go, Cust always picks first because he just messages us because he doesn't really pay attention to this. So he has picked Tony Finau, who you wanted to pick. So technically, since you had Answer, you won and should be your pick. It's your pick over me.
Gary Woodland.
Woodland? I'll take Hideki. Two of us have now used Hideki. 4 events to start the year.
That's where you use him. I guess I'll be using him next week.
Not a bad spot to use Hideki in Phoenix. But
I like it. Last year, he really played really well here. And I shouldn't, I mean, if I like the guy, if he was 25-1, I'd already have the bet. So, like, am I overthinking it?
I think so. I think we do that. Like I said with Scheffler last week. Like, I just looked at the number. I was like, seeing that number next to his name makes no sense to me, so I don't want it. But if he had been 40, I would have bet it. Like, really, what's the difference if I think you have a chance of winning? Just bet the guys who you think are going to win. It's not like he's 4-1.
But, yeah, I'd be really afraid of those two guys at the top.
I'd be afraid of Tiger, too. It's just, I think I'm
always afraid of Tiger.
There's those two guys, then everyone else. And they've kind of lumped Tiger into this weird world in between those two guys and everyone else. And I think that he's closer to Rose and Xander than he is right now to Rory and Rahm.
Do you even have a thought on Rose? We didn't really talk about him.
16's not a terrible number.
Fair number. He played in Singapore last week. Kuchar won.
Did Kuch end up winning?
Yeah. Do you know some crazy stat? Kuchar and Westwood, like for 2 straight years, have won tournaments on the same day.
Oh yeah, because last year it was Indonesian Sony for Kuch. And it was both their first win in 4 years, and I think they had both won on this like same weekend. The last time they had both won as well.
That's fucked up. I don't even know what we said. Rose, yeah. I don't know. I'd rather bet Hideki or Schauffele.
I'd rather bet Rose than Schauffele. But I'd rather bet Hideki than both of them, I think. Because I know that 18 is the soft 18. Because I saw a 20 out there. I'm not seeing anything lower than 16 for Rose. It's a long trip. If you played in Indonesia last week.
No, Singapore.
It's a long trip if you played in Singapore last week.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same sort of travel that I do, but I told you, I was in Vegas last weekend. Like, I'm still not like back to the right time zone.
What's Singapore to the West Coast? 12 hours?
To the West Coast, probably.
I know like Hawaii to LA is
day?
like six hours.
Let's see.
5 hours.
What time is
LA
it in Singapore right now? It's currently 3:32 a.m. in Singapore, and it's currently 2:32 p.m. here. So it's 13 hours ahead of here. So minus 3 hours. It's 10 hours of difference.
If I had the cheddar to like do how they do, wouldn't you just have your flight go when you want to be sleeping?
Yes.
Like, this is when I'm planning on sleeping for this day, so this is when I'm going to fly, and my private plane has a pod, I would assume. You're making that trip. Your Florida to, like, Atlanta flight, you don't need the pod. You might not have the pod plane, but I bet you like this flight, like Justin upgrades.
Oh, yeah, or you just fly Emirates, and you have your own shower, and you're good to go. You can fly commercial if you fly long-distance Emirates.
That's, yeah. Never done it, but I've seen the commercials.
I had a friend
Seems
who
like a condo.
He got like weirdly upgraded from Singapore to Toronto on his way back from work, and he's like, the problem is once you fly that way, you're like all other sorts of flying is like the nut low, like first class, like it's a condo.
Yeah, I just said that. I see the commercial. It looks like, it's like I've never seen a plane like that.
Do you think they can have like casinos on them? How awesome would that be if there's a casino on an airplane on like a 12-hour flight? They have them on cruise ships. Why not airplanes?
They're not long enough, man.
Like they're not physically long enough, or the flights aren't long enough?
I don't know. You just, I guess both. The plane, the space. I don't like this question.
Why?
This doesn't make sense.
Well, if you think like the house wins, and you're the house and you're the airplane, you can give up like 2 rows of seats with some high rollers on there, playing some blackjack. Or some baccarat, depending on where you're coming from.
It's a funny concept, but I don't know.
Like they have condos on the fucking plane.
Yeah, now they have like upstairs lounge bars on these like.
Yeah, then why can't you have a blackjack or some sort of table up there?
Okay, sure. Where are those planes going? It's like
No
Singapore to New York. Like, why do you even need that?
Probably like Dubai to Singapore.
Yeah.
Like if only like incredibly wealthy people go on your airline and take like a certain flight. You'd pimp out a flight for them and charge them like $10K to be on it. And what do they care?
Yeah. Okay.
Someday, Jeff, we'll win enough golf bets that we can afford one flight with a condo in first class on Emirates. But I do think that even coming back from something like Singapore, if you were to fly the normal times of when you were going to sleep, that would then just fuck you up for when you're... Because you've now gotten into a routine in Singapore because you're playing golf all day. So you play golf at whatever, 7 a.m. their time. You play out, so you're on like a 4-day cycle of sleeping and doing whatever at that time. If you then keep up that same sleep cycle, when you land in San Diego, like it's, who knows what time it is. Like you don't want to be up from like 2 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I'm just saying you could arrange, I don't know. I would think you have an optimal flight time for getting yourself there on track. Or you want to land there nighttime to go to bed. I don't know. They pay people to figure that stuff out.
See, I'm sure that they don't is the thing. I'm sure there are some people that do, but that would be like I always thought that like golf analytics, like the golf analytics coach is just someone everyone should have on their bag or at least some sort of consulting firm. And I know that some of the golfers do it, but having like the biorhythms guy of like sleep cycle between travel to make sure that you're going to be at full strength come round 1 of the tournament, whatever it might be. I think that would be some sort of consulting firm.
I guess, but they're independent contractors. They're already giving enough points to enough people.
If that was a way to help you earn more cash.
Agreed. I'm not disagreeing.
Do you have any tips for getting off the plane? Because I always like to go work out after I get off the plane. If I can even go for like a 20-minute run.
I am a
like
delicate flower.
Get to the hotel, pound. So like, I feel like when you fly, because everything they give you on the flight is salt, right? The nuts, the pretzels, but even the food that they have on it, generally speaking, is just full of salt. Like if you drink some water and go sweat it out, I do find that you feel better once you land. You can go to a sauna. You don't have to go for a run or anything.
I have no tips, but I am a delicate flower. I like my day sometimes like done just being on a plane for 2 hours.
That's
I'm
it.
Like mush.
Game over.
No, but I agree. Like if you got like
it makes you tired.
There are people that like fly out in the morning. They have a meeting. They got like a full day of work. 98% of the times I fly, I'm landing and it's like the first minute of my vacation. So it's time to relax.
That's true. I actually do find that because I do a lot of like commuters I'll fly out at 6 a.m. for a meeting at 10 or something
of course.
like that. which is usually risky.
Not
biz,
uncommon though.
but it's risky biz because your flight gets delayed like a second.
Okay,
you're
there's
absolutely fucked.
There's parts of that, but that's flying for commerce. Like in and out isn't uncommon at all.
But I'm with you that normally when I do fly, if I don't, and that's why I like going to the gym afterwards. It gives me something to do once I get off I have a purpose to get off the plane. And if I don't, I'm asleep basically.
Yeah.
And like I am right off the rest of the day. So going to a meeting, it's one thing like, oh, I have something to do. Then you feel normal when you get off the plane. But you're all bloated. It's not great.
Oh.
So I don't like drinking on planes.
And I stand by. If you have people with connectors should be allowed off the plane first.
Agreed.
And I fly direct 99% of the time. It's not even to brag, just where I go. Like they're not that hard to get.
Yeah, you're not going too far.
And I'm not looking to I'm not looking to stop in freaking Dulles Fort Worth. Anyhow, but I do for any time. Like it's crazy. Someone's got another plane to let them get off the fucking plane.
Yeah, they have to get to their next plane.
Yeah.
I'll be okay here.
Can you imagine like landing and still needing to get on another plane? That must suck. Let this guy go.
Maybe get rid of first class first.
Sure. That's what you're paying for. I get
that's
it.
part of the price.
But by the time they're gone, they're easy. It's like 5 rows.
Yeah.
Anyway, I believe that.
At security, they do seem to let the connector people through faster.
I guess, yeah. Someone's trying to find out he got somewhere to be, but
like when I flew back, there was people connecting. They were coming from wherever to Toronto to somewhere else. They had to clear Canadian customs before they could get their flight. And it was a zoo. It took me an hour and a half to get through customs because like all the planes landed at once. But they let these people shuffle through. Like that would suck. Because we experienced that when we flew to Europe. Like when we landed, we had to clear customs to get our connector. And it took fucking forever. We almost missed the flight. Anyway, travel tips. Maybe that could be our new show. Flying with Geoff.
No. I'm not a good flyer. No, I'm not. I just don't like it. But that's like a lot of people. Airports, hospitals, like.
I don't mind airports and I don't mind flying. My biggest thing, maybe I need to have a guest on to teach me how to do this. I get so out of my daily routine, like especially eating wise, when I'm not at home. I'd like to know how to fix that. Like, how do I eat?
Eat.
No, like I eat, but I eat just so unhealthy when I'm away from home. I don't know what to do. Like everywhere you go is bad for you.
Yeah, if you're eating out every meal.
For every meal.
5
Like, are there
days.
tips to just even cut down like 50% of that? If you're staying in a hotel,
they'll tell you to eat like a Cliff Bar instead of like going for lunch. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. That's the thing. I doubt that's the solution because I'm hungrier than that. But I can't make anything because I don't have like a
kitchen or yeah. I don't know. It's enough. Yeah, too many morning free pastries.
Yeah. Room service anytime.
Yeah, I don't know.
At the Link where we stayed, there was not 24-hour room service. It blew my mind that a hotel in Vegas would not have 24-hour room service. Doesn't that seem unheard of?
Yeah. Service to the max.
I found it shocking. They did have a 24-hour restaurant, though. Geoff Fienberg. Follow him on Twitter, @GFienberg17. My column is up on DKPlaybook.com right now, and even though I hadn't tweeted it out, it was up there.
I'm a creature of habit. I'm like, Pat, your article's not up. Like, it's been up for hours. You didn't tweet it.
Therefore, if you don't tweet it, does it exist? The answer is no. You can follow me at the PME, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My betting cheat sheet will be up on Facebook on Wednesday. My DK cheat sheet will be out sometime Tuesday evening. The DK show will be out tomorrow. That'll do it. The Pat Mayo Experience. You get in the draws for the 20 and 100 DK bucks. Become a member at fantasynational.com today. You go win some bucks this week, okay? I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!